Hi, everybody. This is Christine Bertram. I may or may not be coming to you live from the Hive right now, but we're going to find out. Oh, I'm not certain if it's going to work or not. All of a sudden it popped up. I tried one more time. Oh, I see myself. Oh, yay. Okay. I don't know if this is a good idea or not, especially when it says that there's not good service in my area. You guys, I do have an error message from my power company or from Spectrum, and it does say that there is an outage in my area until 8:30 right now. It's happening. So I don't know. I'm watching along with you down here, and it shows it very grainy and pixelated. So I am not quite certain what's happening or not. So let's see what it looks like. Yeah. It could be a little crisper or clearer, and I will say at any moment it may go out. So we're gonna kind of like take our chances, I guess, because why not, right? Oh, you guys have a clear pic. Okay, good. It looks good for you guys. Okay, so I bet it's grainy for me because my download quality and my upload quality are not good. So it could be my computer then downloading it. So, well, I was just about to hit the end stream, and I said to myself, just try it one more time and let's see what happens. So we're live only 40 minutes later, and I haven't even chatted, you guys. So it's like normal starting time for us, which is crazy. Okay, so long story short, if you guys read the comments, you guys are probably following along that my internet provider, Spectrum, is having a power outage in the area. I restarted my router, I restarted the modem, I waited and waited and waited and tried probably 10 times. Never once did I end this thing right here. Like this, I never stopped this. I kept that going, but I kept ending it up here and trying to start it. I did the Ookla speed test, and that's where I saw right away that I have no data. So if anything happens while we're live and we're crafting, I'll try to watch it, and I'll try to stop what I'm doing so that I don't keep working with you guys not seeing what I'm doing. And what I'm gathering is, so this video says it's 3 minutes long right now. So all of the last 40 minutes of what we did, I don't think it was recorded. Okay, so hi buddy, you want some water? There you go. So I had it recording, and I stopped, and I started, and I stopped, and I started. So we'll see once what happens. Okay, all right, but we're here. Yay! Oh my goodness, it's all good. All good in the hood, right? As Hunky Noodle would say, I just want water. No. So what's happening is so I have two phones. This is like my old phone, and then this is my current phone. And every time I get a phone, every 3 or 4 years you get a new phone. Actually 5 years the last time. Every time I get a new phone, I keep the last one. So off my internet, I have nothing. But when I'm watching it from my new phone that has data, that is where I can actually see that I'm live. So this one where I normally watch is not helpful. So anyways, this will help me. Oh man, my internet just popped in, you guys. So it's just, okay, so maybe the internet is actually starting to come back, which is good. Okay. Oh, all right. So, all right, well, here we are gathered together watching Hunky Noodle not drink his water anymore. All right. Oh, okay, well, you guys, what I talked about for 8 minutes before I even realized that you weren't with me was that I lost my voice sometime between last week Saturday evening, and today is the first day that I don't sound mousy and squeaky and scratchy. So some of you have talked to me throughout the week because I still was talking. Right? That's how it sounded like in my head, okay? Which was horrible. So I don't impersonate myself very well. So I did decide yesterday, Tyler said to me yesterday morning at 9 o'clock, he's like, you do not want to do class. You don't want to put your ladies and guys through what I sounded like yesterday, which wasn't even bad compared to what it was on Monday and Tuesday. So crazy. So this happened back in January where I lost it. So I must be doing a lot of talking and chatting and more than normal, and it just wears on my voice box, maybe. So I'm glad to see everybody as well. It's great to be with you. And I did reschedule the SCI class. I put it on the calendar for tomorrow after we're done with the showcase. So I do have a showcase showdown. I know a class showcase. It's slated for 1:30 tomorrow afternoon Central Time. You guys, I'm in Wisconsin, so always Central when I say times. I know that I don't expect everybody to always remember that because you might be in a different time zone, but I am 1:30 Central tomorrow. We're going to do the September showcase. We are one card away from being done with the designing for September. We have one card left for the escape. So we got 4 done today. We got 4 done. I got 4 fun folds done last night. I started at 5 and I finished at 10. And then the day before, we got 4 cards designed actually for the ink, paper, scissors in November, which one of them is an escape card. We got December's ink, paper, scissors designed on Friday of last week, of which one of them is an ink, paper, scissors. So you guys, we've been hot and heavy on the designing. I think we probably are at 30 cards that we've designed since maybe 2 weeks ago. And so there's one left for the escape, which it'll be done either tonight or tomorrow morning. We'll be rocking and rolling and ready for the showcase at 1:30. And then on Saturday, Amanda Waldhart, a colleague of mine who lives in Janesville, is coming up Saturday morning. She's spending the entire day with me, and we're designing all of the Paper Palooza, the fall Paper Palooza cards. We're designing them on Saturday, so I won't be able to show them off for the showcase because the showcase is the day before, but next week when I have a live, then I'll be able to start showing off those cards. So lots of designing in the works for all of the things that we're going to be doing with you in September and then into October. Next week, Thursday, we're going to work on designing the Wounded Warrior benefit cards because that will be here before we know it. So our goal is to get that designed on Thursday so that we can put the recipe list out there. So if anybody wants to donate materials, you can start getting them ordered and sending them our way. So you might hear that a little bit. All right. So allergy season starting to, I don't usually get a lot of allergies, but that's very possible. You can acquire or get allergies at any point in your life. So it's very possible that that is part of what's going on too. So I do know that it was not between here and here. It was between here and here where I was feeling it. So it's awesome that I was able to I wasn't congested. I wasn't sick. I never felt horrible. I never had a sore throat. I never had anything. I just had it was from my voice box to my middle of my chest here. So, yeah. You sounded that way because of surgery. Oh, hi, Mindy Hall. Yay. I hope, not yay that you had surgery, but yay that you're here. I hope your surgery went well. Lots of recovery ahead of you. Hi, Gwen Simmons. So you guys, I know there are a bunch of you that are watching. I know that a bunch of you have been hanging out with me since 6 o'clock and we haven't done anything yet. I appreciate that. I see your names. I saw your names. And instead of calling hi to everybody that this time around, I think we'll hello to everybody that's already here. I won't call out specific names. I do want to do roll call though, and I think we'll do that right off the bat because I have my book here. What I really need for you guys to know is that we do not really have any ink, paper, scissors classes left. I have one open spot, but I have somebody who wants it, provided I did not miss signing somebody up. It has happened a time or two in the last couple months, maybe 4 times, that there was an email that I may have missed, and I always get them out to people, right? Nobody, I've not had to say no to somebody that was intended to get a class, right? So we always make it right. But what I need to know is, do I really have a class left to give to Anna Zastro, or is that class really supposed to be somebody's that signed up that didn't get it yet, right? So that's what I'm looking for. I'm going to go through roll call. Thank you to everybody who did sign up for this class and they got it. It was a fee-based class, so everybody paid for this class, so everybody's getting in on the door prize drawing. 79 people are on my list with 1 pending, and if that person, if I miss somebody, let me know during the live or message me as soon as you watch the video. if you haven't gotten the PDF tutorial, which I emailed out this morning around 8:30, if you haven't gotten the tutorial, and if I don't read off your name, and you think you signed up for class, and you sent me an email or a text or somehow signed up for class, just let me know. I want to make it right, and you'll get that last kit that I have. And if I did it perfectly, amazingly well, and I got everybody on the list, then Anna Zastra will be happy to have a kit. So it's very cool. So we kitted up 88 for this class. So Diane had 8 people in person last night, and I had 80 for online, and I'm going to start at the top of the list. So thank you to everybody who did this class with me. I appreciate it. Your support is awesome and is unwavering, and I appreciate it so much. Mary Jo Stoll, Connie Moore, Julie Bierschbach, Frances Rodriguez, Sandy Coy Emery, Pat Smothers, Trisha Fagley, Janice Ormiston, Susie Fenlater, Karen Wetstein, Kimberly Longway, Becky Gandolfo, Vicky Rodriguez, Sherry Everett, Andy Aquisto, Kathy Showalter, Jean Terwilliger, Carmen Melendez, Karen Stagg, Kelly Gibson, Leslie McMinn, Sherry Stewart, Barbara Rudolph, Donna Grushke, Shelley Cooper, France Eldridge, Kathleen Ketterman, Jennifer Jones, Hope Toy, Gwen Simmons, Faye Godby, Sarah Merchant, Mindy Hall, Pat Fleming, Laura Sullivan, Paige Grabau, Susan Bellamy, Karen Woods, Joanne Kahn, Joanne Naples, Jeannie Parker, Cheryl Thomas, Kimberly Snow, Linda Rios, Lynn Marcotte, Phyllis Oderman, Mary Carls, Sheila Roberts, Patsy Roberts, my Roberts are girls, my girls are next to each other, Julie Bontrager, Rita Steffi. You guys, I don't notice those kind of things until I say it out loud. Julie Damaris, Jeannie Gertis, Patty Wright, Doris Munson, Angelique McClendon, Feline Mays, Maria Gilbertson, Linda Scott, Lisa LaFramboise, Linda Hunt, Karuna, Mary Lemke, Gwen Petrashek, Yvette Lopez, Kat Langford, Linda Fletcher, Debbie Stone, Nedra Dover, Debbie Gast, Wendy Kruger, Marisha Roberts, Susan Wormley, Doreen Gudshinsky from Alaska, yay, Kathy Dolly Nagari. That might be the first time I said Doreen Gudshinsky's name out loud. I know she's gotten a past class or two from me and an escape maybe, or an event, but it was after the fact. So Kathy Dolly Nagari, Lynn Beasley, Carmen Sanders. Now, again, it could or could not be Anna Zastro. If I missed somebody, it'll be whoever that person is. And if I didn't miss anybody, it'll be Anna Zastro. So, so I'll do a drawing at the end of class. So what's unique about this class today, I feel like I have something up in my poop. Okay, got it. I had a protein bar right before I tried to go live at 6 o'clock, and it's still up there. So what's unique about this class is the paper is so pretty, and it was a lot to make only 4 cards with this class. We did kit up 6 for the class, but because there was still leftover paper, we wanted to show you ideas of what to do with the extra designer paper that was left over. So we actually kitted up 6, but the tutorial has 10 cards in it. So for those people who got the tutorial this morning in your inbox, you'll see that there are 10 cards. Cards 1 through 6 are what we're going to be working with your kit that you have. And the other 4 are if you want to make something pretty later with what's left over. Okay, so I'll show those cards to you. But I always get asked, well, what happened to the card kits for the last 4? And I'm like, oh, I said that there aren't any, right? So I just got to call it out again that there aren't kits for the last 4 cards. All right, I take a sip of water. Okay, thanks. So you guys, I'll probably get cracklier as it goes. My goal is going to be to drink that whole 20 ounces of water while I have class. You guys, I can generally do an entire class without drinking water, which is not good. I'm not saying it's good, but that's what happens. So before we get into this class, because this class, you guys, we're not going to finish at 8:30 at this point. Diane did this class last night, and we're going to cut the designer paper for 6 cards, and then we're going to make 6 cards. I probably won't Stella. I may not put gems on. I'm not quite sure what we'll do to like conserve time, but I do want to share with you just a sneak peek. I always love showing you guys some sneaky peeks of what's coming up. So last night I worked on designing the fun folds. Actually, 2 nights ago. I think it was, I don't even remember. No, today's Thursday? I designed them Monday night, I think. Monday night, I designed the fun folds. So we were supposed to have the fun folds class next week, and I knew that it was going to be a stretch to get that, so we pushed it out to after the escape. So I've got 4 fun folds cards I'm going to show you, and I also have a few escape cards. I'm just going to give you a couple sneak peeks, and then let you know that the registration form for the sign up has been created, and it's been shared already. It's in the YouTube video for tomorrow, and it's also in the event that I created on Facebook. It's in the event that I created on my website. So for anybody that already knows what they want to take for September, you can already start getting registered, or you can wait until after the showcase tomorrow. So we'll have to talk through that tomorrow for the showcase. Like first off the bat, you guys will talk about how we're going to work the new registration way. So we're hoping that it helps us be more efficient and we don't miss things. So you like the extra ideas. You need to drink more water too. Yes. How about the hardest 2 first? I think that's a great idea, Faye. I think that's what we're going to do, is the hardest 2 first. That is what Diane did, actually, I think. Okay, so I'm just going to show you really quick what I've got in store for you for the Fun Folds catalog launch class, featuring new product out of the holiday mini catalog and the new online exclusive. So a case one of Angelique McClendon's cards. So this lays flat. It's a traditional A2 size, but then what happens is it pops up like that, and it's got the embossing in the back, and then on the back side is where you'd write your love note. So that's one wintry card. This is going to be, I don't know, it could be anything. It doesn't have, it's not very, it's wintry, right? It could be a nice, well, I guess it's not even wintry, but it is what it is. It's still a fun fold. So opens like that. And I'm not even done with it. There's going to be a really, the Lights of Aurora, the Northern Lights. There's that DSP. That's also going to be in here. I just haven't gotten to it yet. We talked about that we're going to add that yet. And then here's a little flipper flapper here. So this guy flips up. So a Thanksgiving card this could be. I didn't make it a Thanksgiving card, but you could definitely make it a Thanksgiving card. Okay, so there's that. And the last one's a Halloween card, and there's 2 versions. You're either going to get one or the other, and I don't know what you're going to get until you open up your envelope, because we utilize both sheets of that designer paper from Spooky Nights. And so this opens like this, and I made it into a Halloween card. So that goes like that. So again, it's got the accordion kind of fold on the side. Opens like that. So that's the Fun Folds class, in case you guys were excited and wanting to see that. And then just to share with you some of the escape cards we've been working on. So here's a Christmas card, which could also, yeah, it's more Christmassy because it's got the ornament on it. So there's one. Here's a wintry card using that Snowflake Kisses set. And then here's the Peaceful Garden set with the doves. So, and I'm looking in the camera, I could have sponged them a little bit darker so that they would have shown off a little bit more, but yeah, so that's that. And then here's the Branching Out. So just a few of the escape cards, just to tease you guys a little bit. So, all right. So we're going to be working with the Beautiful Gallery, which is on the back side of your Designer Series paper samplers. So for those people that are still looking and interested or didn't even know I did these, I still have some of the annual catalog ones left, and I have some of the spring minis. And we're in the process of getting our ducks in a row to work on the holiday mini one, the fall one that's coming up. So between all the 10 cards in your tutorial, I think we utilized all the pages of the designer paper. I think in a couple cards we used 2, so that's why I think that we ended up using them all. So this is Beautiful Gallery. There's lots of colors that are coordinating with this designer series paper. So if you want a little reference tool like this, we call it the DSP sampler, and you would get everything to glue your squares down in your rectangles, and then you could show off the papers to other people. All right, so what we're working with tonight, we're going to be making these 6 cards together as a group, and This guy right here goes with this one. So it's a fun fold. It's a fun fold. This is a fun fold. And then this is a fun fold. So we have 4 fun folds on top of doing 6 cards tonight. So you guys, it's going to be intense. Just know that at any point, if you need to leave or get on doing like sleep or dishes or laundry or whatever you need to do, just pay attention to what time it is, and then you'll be able to come back and catch the replay and fast forward to that part just to start wherever you left off, right? So no rush if this gets to be long. I do know that it's 7 now, and we're just going to start cutting paper. It's going to take us probably 30 minutes to get through cutting paper, and I think what we'll do is we'll cut the paper for one of the cards and then make the card, and then cut the paper for one of the cards, make the card, so that we kind of keep the cutting of the paper with the 2 harder, like each of those hard cards, and then we'll cut the other 4. All right, that's kind of what I'm thinking in my head. Hello, Carolyn Ketchmark. Long time no see. Yes, Carolyn, I don't know if I missed a message from you or not, but I did send you a note asking if you were still interested in the ribbon and embellishment shares from the annual catalog. I have them here if you do, and I don't know if you saw my email, and if you did and you sent it back, I'm sorry, I'll find it. But if you didn't, let me know. Look for that email. So, all right. So these are the 6 that we're going to be making tonight. And I think we're going to start with this one, only because the paper is hard to cut. This one's really not that hard. This one's a little bit different. So we're going to go in this order. And this is the absolute easiest one. This is probably second last. And then this one. This is probably the order that we'll put the cards together. Now, by any means, I don't know if this is the order the tutorial's in, but it's the order I think that'll work for class tonight. So in the tutorial, then, you'll have 4 other cards. They're easy cards. So this one, all of these are basically, these 3 are a base, a matte, and then the designer paper, and then just adding the little sentiment strip and some ribbon to the front, right? So those are relatively easy, okay? And they're photographed and they're in the tutorial. So you probably missed it. Okay, then I will follow up with that, Carolyn, and we'll see if there's anything else you want to get in September. Now, the other piece of paper that we didn't use in these 6 cards, or these was this last one with this is like Tyler's favorite print here, I think. We used this layout for the Palooza, the annual catalog Palooza that we did this past summer. And instead of reinventing the wheel and creating a new card, what we did is we just pulled that one, because not everybody did the Palooza. So what we did is we pulled that from the archives and added it to this tutorial as a bonus for this tutorial to use up that pattern of paper. All right, so perfect. Let's get. We're gonna start. So again, we're not doing anything with these tonight. They were just to tease you, to show you, to get you thinking how you could use your paper, so that you don't sit there with some designer paper not utilized. Okay, so in your card kits, you guys are gonna have 6 envelopes. They're all vanilla, okay? I still have some Stampin' Up! Vanilla envelopes yet, which is awesome. The class's name is called Ink, Paper, Scissors Beautiful Gallery. Today's date is August 28th, 25. Now, not to be confused, we did have a Beautiful Gallery class in early July that was an order-based class, which included 4 card kits, and we used some sale-a-bration paper, and you did not get basically gems or ribbon whole. You got that cut up and put in your kits. So we do, hi Kathy Showalter, we do have 2 of these classes called Beautiful Gallery. This one's the Ink, Paper, Scissors, okay? All right, so in here, you can pull out your 6 card kits. The designer paper is pretty cool. We had a hard time not using the house. We ended up using that side, which it is what it is. So it's hard. So we use this one. That's maybe what we'll do. We'll pull the papers as we go here. So that one is what you're using here. All right, so the boat one we didn't end up using for class tonight. This one is getting used on this card, so I'm just going to slip that in that pile. Oh, we didn't use this paper. So I thought that we used all 12 papers. I'll be honest with you, we did not use this paper. I didn't know what to do with it. So one of you guys out there in my crafting world will know exactly what to do with this card, and you can make something pretty with it and send me a picture of it so I can see that you used it. How about that? All right. This one is the very last card on the pile. So I'm just going to tuck him down here. This one was one of the extra bonus cards that we are not going to be using, right? So we'll set that on that pile. This was one of the bonus cards as well that we are not going to use. This one got used on 2 cards. It's the back side of this right here, which is so cool. So it's the back side of that, and it's the front side of the second last card that we put in our pile, that guy right there. So I'm going to leave it with this card so that we cut that properly. This piece right here with the tan piece goes with this card. So I'm just going to slip that here. This one, I believe, well, this one was one of the bonus cards. So we'll put that over here on that bonus card pile. This one is that other fun fold right here. So that one is going to be for this card. All right. So we've kind of got the paper divvied up. And then you guys will have in your kit here the beige, the new beige ribbon, not the classic bordered one. This is the new one. And then these are your pressed flower motifs. And I already have an open pack that I'm going to work with. Actually, I have 2 open packs. So I'm going to use the ones that are open. And what happens, you guys have to be very careful with these gems. When they come in your, if you order them from Stampin' Up and they come in your box, sometimes they're all disheveled all over the place. So you just have to be very careful that if that is the case, that you call Stampin' Up and they will replace them for you. So that's what happened to a bunch of mine. All right, so we're going to move this stuff out of the way. So this card right here, this is a pocket card. I'm just going to open these up. Oh, I wonder if it's that one right there. Nope. And it is that one maybe. Second last one. Let's just see here. Nope, not the second last one either. Nope. 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 It's the first one. So when your golden ticket was on the top, for my pile, it's the very top one. I believe that is, yep, that's the one we're working with first. All right, so I'm going to make a little room here. And we're going to talk about this stuff. Pray. Are you laying and buffering a little bit every now and then? Okay. All right, well, hopefully it doesn't stay that way. Okay. And again, if it okay, what we've learned about buffering is that if you go back to watch the replay, it's not going to buffer. It might buffer now. If my internet is not good, it might be that the uploading speed is not so good. And if that's the case, that's why you guys might get buffering. You might get buffering on your end if your internet is not good though too, right? So it's not always just on me. And I've been watching it this whole time and I haven't seen any buffering. So we'll have to see what happens. But all right, we're gonna drop this down again. All right. We have a little bit of intense cutting on this, you guys. I apologize in advance for making this one. I don't apologize. It's just like, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Okay. So it's a very, very pretty wedding card. And when you pop this in here, it's really cool. All right. So, and this is a pocket card. And we've done a pocket card like this in the past, but we were inspired by it again because we recently received this card. I don't remember if it was a swap card or not, but I'm pretty sure it was a swap card. But we recently got this one. And I don't have a name on it, so I can't really give credit where credit is due. Just know that this wasn't my card, but that we've done these pocket cards. We've been doing them for, I can say, probably 5 years. Like, we've been throwing this kind of design into the mix. And in general, it's relatively easy. It's just making sure you get your cuts right. So that inspiration was awesome. And what's special about this is we're using designer series paper on the back of this versus using cardstock. So we have these 2 pieces of paper. We're going to start with this one. So the beige roses, what we're going to do is we want to save this section right here. We want to save this section for that other card that I showed off to you just a little bit ago. It's this one right here. right? So that's the other side. So that measurement, and you guys, I'm not going to pull up the PDF tutorial at this moment. I'm going to try not to use too much of my internet, but this measurement here is 2 and, oops, I had it the right way, is 2 1/4. So this is 2 1/4. Knowing that, I'm going to cut this at 2 1/4, which is what we need for this side, right? So let's do 2 1/4, like this. Whoa, that sounded really weird. Okay, 2 1/4, so that's that. And now what we want to do is cut this the right width, and that is 5 1/4. So let's go ahead and cut this piece at 5 1/4. Basically what we're doing is we're cutting off the words, right? It was 5 1/4 is perfect because it leaves that little bit of leaf on, and it cut off the words. Now, if you feel inspired to make something with this, or you could use this like on the inside here, you could. Otherwise, just put it in your scrapyard. All right. So then what I'm going to do now is take this and just put it in with that other card here because I don't need it quite yet. I'll come back to it later. All right. So what we have here then is this piece all ready to go. Okay. So that's nice. We got one done. We got the easy one done. Got to say that was the easy one. What's going to be a little bit more difficult is this piece. And then we also have to cut part of our card base. So when you open this up, you'll have your little vanilla label. This is your piece for matting onto here, right? That's that piece. And then you'll have your spotlight. So this is Spotlight in Nature. And then this is Stylish Shapes. So you'll need those for your front here. And then you have 2 pieces that are bases that are pretty much the same. Hang on, I'm trying to put it on mute while I do that so you guys don't have to hear all that. So what we're gonna do on these, so they're gonna get glued together. These back panels get glued together. And then this one angles down this way. And then this one angles down this way. So kind of seeing and visualizing that, knowing that it's going to cut from the score to the point here. You want to line up your score and line up your point here. And what we're going to do is cut that triangle off, right? So we were really trying to design this and use this somewhere else in this class, and we just didn't. We couldn't figure it out. So you guys can use this for die cutting anything out of, or use it as a mat later on. So that's good for this one. Now the one that is going to come in here like that, we need to cut from this score line down to here. So let's stage that in here. So and then I pivot off of there and come right down to there. We're just going to cut that just like so. Again, put this in your scrapyard, use it for something later. I wasn't going to go through the effort, me or any of my helpers, to cut that for you. I figured we'd have you guys cut it in person when you're working on the class. Now, pretty much that's how that's going to go. But what happens is you have like just a smidge, a little smidge that's over here. Like, does that bother you? Are you okay with it? If you think it's too much and it bothers you, all you have to do is trim off a hair on this side. And I mean a hair. If you use a hair on here, it's going to fray it. So if you're going to do a hair, you're going to have to do a hair on a little guillotine or something that is super uber sharp. But it really is a matter of a fine little hair like that. And when you cut off that fine little hair, what's going to happen is that'll nestle more into that crevasse, the fold. And then when you put it together, now you're not going to be hanging over that hair on this side, right? So that's how you could take care of that. So now that's pretty much staged and ready to go. So what's left, or what the hard part is going to be cutting this. And I might pull up the tutorial just to show you guys what's going on. But this piece right here is what is going to be used first, right? So we're going to try to get this little triangle out of here. And we wrote really good instructions on how to do this. So that, and when you get to, and I'll show you guys the tutorial. just this tutorial is amazing. Jolene did an amazing job. Let me just think about where I'm going to find it the fastest without, let's just see here. It's in the Inspiration Hive at the moment. So let me just see if I can get logged in here really quick to the Inspiration Hive and the members content. So when you go in here, it's the very first one already. And so when you populate this and pull it open, it is quite the tutorial. It's card number 1. Jolene made amazing graphics and guides for you guys who are doing the class with me. You've got your cuts of that and how it kind of glues together. And this is what she created for you guys to put, like this is what we're going to work on next. So she went step by step here on how you're going to salvage pieces. So this is how it's going to work. So we're going to want to cut this at 4 inches tall. And this section right here, that triangle, we're going to utilize that, right? So, but we want to make sure we cut it correctly. So what happens is that's where this guide comes in really handy. So she's got, you cut down at an angle, so we're going to have to measure that, right? So let's do the 4 inches tall. So with the paper like this, with the big bouquet of 3 on the one side, and this like that on that side, we thought that that's the perfect way to have this. So this is the top, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut it at 4 inches tall. Okay, so you've got this left. This is what we used for our envelope flap. If you can see that right here, that became your envelope flap. I think for class tonight, I might not go through the effort of the night of gluing all my envelope flaps on, but you guys have seen me do that. Maybe you haven't, but generally you can just glue that onto your envelope flap. So we're going to save that. All right. Now measure over 5 1/4 from the right on the bottom edge and make a tick mark. All right. So what we're going to be doing, if you see her guide here, we're going to measure over 5 1/4 and put a tick mark. So let me, oh man, I think I have a green pencil. Oh well, we'll use a green pencil. So, so ultimately what we're trying to do is, this is now 6 inches and this only needs to be 5 1/4. And we don't cut this off because we need this to be this section right here. Okay. So that's why we're not cutting it at 5 1/4. What we're going to do is take our ruler and put this, and I could use my glass map, but I like to use this little guy. So at 5 1/4, I'm going to put a tick mark right there. Okay. So we're going to put the tick mark right there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to cut from this corner to this corner, and we're cutting that off. That's going to give us our triangle right here. Trust me, we were very strategic with this paper so that we could use both, the whole thing with it being exactly where we wanted it. And this is going to be important to make sure you get this right. If you cut to the outside or the inside, it's going to impact it. So you want to make sure you're cutting it right to there where that 5 1/4 is. And because this is a point here, I don't want to start my blade up here and come down. It's going to crunch it. So what I'll do is I'll start below it, go up, and then come back down and cut it that way. All right, so then this is your triangle for here. And the true test to see if that is, if you did okay, is go here and just set it in here. And it should hopefully fit right into that area. Right, so boom. Right, so that's easy. All right, she laughs. This is next. So ultimately, like, we need the right measurement for this, right, to go like that. And ultimately, when what we're going to do is this right here needs to get cut, right? But you're like, well, how do you cut it? Where do you cut it? Well, I guess one of the easiest ways to do it without even having to measure anything is place it on your card. Like, let's get that out of the way. Place it right here where it needs to go. Have your border here, have your border here, have that where it needs to go. And ultimately, if you put a tick mark at the spot, just the same distance, so the same distance from here is what you're seeing here and seeing here and seeing here, you should be able to take from that corner and cut it to there, and that's exactly what you need to do. So our notes, though, said from the top right corner, measure over 3 13/16, place a tick mark, cut left corner to the tick mark. So we said like 3 and 13/16, I believe that was from here. What we did is we got scientific with it, right? So 3 and 13/16 is right here. So that also was, that's exactly where the ruler is. So you could also take from this peak right here to 3 and 13/16. Ultimately, you need to get a tick mark right there. And if you do it by eyeballing on your mat, or if you do the measurement, it's okay. However you want to do it. Ultimately, you need to get your corner here, and you need to get that tick mark there. And you don't want to bunch in the corner, so I'm going to start right below it. Okay, now this is for your scrap yard. You can use this later in life if you'd like to. And now, fingers crossed, this is the piece that's going to go right there. And it should fit if you kind of like strategize and game plan it. So, all right, so that wasn't hard. It just involved some steps. So now what we can do is we're going to do a little stamping. So we're going to grab, okay, well, I didn't even really show you guys what we're using right now. We're using Beautiful Motifs. These dies got pulled in. Beautiful Motif stamp set. And so on this one, we have Wishing You Love and Happiness. That lasts a lifetime. We pulled in from, oh man, there must be a Gallery Bloom stamp set that I must have left upstairs. So that is from Gallery Blooms. And then the Congratulations is from Extraordinary Flora. So I'll grab that. I think for now I'll skip stamping the floral image and call it good with just using espresso for right now. I was so distracted that I didn't even grab blocks or ink yet, so we'll just grab this as we go. All right, so let's get you guys back in case I need to see what's happening. All right, coming in late. All right, yes, I made it, Laura, yay. All right, so we'll get glue happy momentarily. I think the hardest part of this card was to do all the cutting, which hopefully I went slow enough. You guys, again, if I went too fast and you didn't catch everything, the tutorial has a great graphic. So Jolene goes crazy good on her graphics and adding the images like what she does. So we're going to just stamp the Wishing You Love and Happiness right there. And then we'll do Congratulations and a perfect wedding card. So this would be a great fall wedding card, and fall is coming up. So when we stamp this, I guess you might wait to stamp it, but here's what's going on. This is going to get glued onto here. And I think what I did is I staged this in my card, right? Like that, okay? And then from here, make sure you don't have any ink on your corners. And I centered that, so that it's right in the nook here. So, okay. Yeah, thank you to Jolene, you guys. I think this document, if I'm not mistaken, the document she created for you guys is 24 pages of card activities, of lots and lots of details for you. All right. So that's it for stamping. So we're going to set you over here, and now we could get gluing. Now, look at this and see how you want your flowers to look. I stamped, or I glued it so, oh, I did it that way. I would have done it that way. Huh. Either way, horse apiece, I guess. I think we'll do it this way this time. So let's flip this over, and then we're going to glue. If I'm not mistaken, I had that guy tucked in here. So, oh, the other thing too you want to do before you get glue happy, check your heights. If for any reason your two pieces of cardstock are not the same height from us, like one's a hair over or a hair under, you can still put it on your trimmer and trim that hair off. Ultimately, you want this flush and that flush. All right, so this gets glue. This gets glue. Perfect. And oh, I said I want my flowers to be going up this time, so let's grab this like that. Okay, good deal. And then this guy, He's just going to rest inside here. Can make that go together very nice. It might be a good idea to get glue close to the edge here. I don't know how I don't think I was as close as I wish I would have been. Knowing that we've got this going on, it should be okay, but if you use tear and tape on that side, that might be the best thing. I guess what I would have done, now knowing, I would have staged that side with tear and tape, but not taken it off, and then glued everything, got it together, and then I could have lifted this up and peeled that tear and tape off, and it would have glued it all the way to the edge. That would have been cool if I would have thought of that. So let's flip this guy over, and let's flip this one over. And I'll get these glued to the front. So these pocket cards aren't hard in general. It's just because of how we were strategic with this specific sheet of designer paper and how we didn't want to waste any of it. And we wanted the floral pattern to be exactly where we wanted it. That's what was difficult about this. Normally what you could do is take a 5 1/4 by 4 and you could cut in half diagonally and put one on one side and one on the other side. Like that's the easiest with this kind of a card. And then that goes here. All right, see, that looks just like that. All right, so here's the deal. We need for there to be a barrier at the bottom here so that your pocket piece doesn't fall out. So that's where you're gonna wanna grab the tear and tape. Now, on our sample, we actually used 1/8 inch tear and tape. We cut it in half, but when you put the card in, it went a little bit lower than we would have liked it. So on this one, we decided, well, we're gonna show you what we would have wished we would have done. We're gonna use the 1/4 inch. You're just gonna line that up flush along the bottom. Don't ever worry if the tear and tape goes over a little bit, because what happens is it'll just bend right back into itself. All right, so this one goes in first, right? So if we look at that, this one goes underneath. Make sure you're nice and flush. All right, so this creates that pocket here, right? So that's gonna get stopped there and it'll be up a little higher, which is exactly what we wanted. And now we need to do the same thing on this side. So what we'll do, I've already got tear and tape that went over. We're gonna go like that much. And we're gonna put this all the way to the end. And what I'll do is I'll just rip that and I'll end up folding that back. But we also need this to be nice and secure here. So there's a spot right about here that will get there. And so when we glue this down, it'll all get nicely secure. All right, so that's ready to go. And then this one, so you saw my tape, I'm gonna go like that, and then I'm gonna bring it back that way. And now there'll be glue all the way to that corner. It's not gonna wanna pop up. Making sure that's flush. And then again, I left my beautiful gallery stamps upstairs. That's the only thing I can guess. I didn't grab it. And that's where that's from. And it's Mossy Meadow, so you could stamp that there. And then this will fit in here. Nice. Okay. This little guy went to market. No, so this little guy gets tear and tape on his backside. Sounds like it's not a good thing, but it'll be good because we're going to put ribbon there. So 2 diagonal pieces there. I did notice that I got to do, oh, where's my pick tool? Oh, I don't have a pick tool here. It's over on the table, I bet. I've got my tweezers though. So you're going to have to do the hokey pokey and turn your circle around. That's what it's all about. Left hand. All right, just go round and round and round and get those guys out. Now, my helpers don't do all that hokey pokey for you. All right. Now, we have to open the ribbon because I did not have an open roll anywhere that I could see. So let's just do that. Hello, Nancy Sue Valencia. All right. Whoa. All right. So I definitely prefer this basic beige ribbon over the classic bordered one. This one is a little more sleek and sheer shiny. And what I'm going to do is grab the end here, and up at that top back right, we're going to do a loop and a tail and bring it out. Grab your ribbon scissors, trim your tail, and then put a little bit of tear and tape over the top to help hold that. And then we're going to go to the other side, back to the other side, loop, tail, out, trim. And then flip it over. We've got tear and tape on standby. And anything hangs over, you can either just bend it back. Okay, so that's how I did that little bit of ribbon there. And then what we'll do is we're going to pop that up with dimensionals. I feel like it's a cob of corn, and we ate one row like the combine went down one row right there. All right, so there is a little bit of height going on already on the side here, so I don't think I'll add more. So I'll leave those dimensionals wherever the tear and tape isn't hanging out. You just gotta make, oh yeah, and this goes here onto the circle, the mossy meadow. And for here, you just wanna make certain that you don't put adhesive on this part right here, because you don't want it to be hanging over. And that we just glued that flat. So if you're worried about it, what you could do is just put glue right there, and then you're gonna not risk going over. But it does hang up over the top of that a little bit. We don't wanna cover up all of that pretty rose. Like that. All right, beautiful motif gems on here. Not that pack, must be this pack. So grab these guys. And what we did is there's an open space. You can kind of see here it's like empty. So we're gonna put a big and a small there. And then I found the middle of a rose right there. And you could put one right in there. And then you have a whole pack of these things. So if you feel that you want more anywhere else, now is the time. Like you could even put, see, if I put two here, I feel like I shouldn't put two there because they're in a line. But I wonder what it might look like if we put one there. These are pretty heavy. Oops, it's two-staged looking, so I like it just with the three. But you could always add another one like there, and then an odd duck, wherever. Gems can be the easiest thing and the most fun thing, and then they could also be the most stressful thing. So, all right. Take a deep breath. We got one done. And you know me, I can't just not do this. So I have it so that the flowers are up there. Flower instead. So we're going to just take a moment and put this down. And I don't want to cut this, so I'm going to put that right to the edge there. Fold that back, make sure we get all the way up. Perfect. So when the envelope flap that you cut is smaller than the envelope, just cut that off and you'll still have plenty of glue to shut your card. So I'll trim that up later. Okay. Huh. We did it, you guys. That was card number 1. Yes, Nancy Mole, thanks for answering the question. Yeah, just you're not as late as we are. So, all right. So there's one done. I will leave this right here, I think. Okay. This guy will be next. And again, not hard if we take it step by step. Step by step. Ooh, girl. It's a song, I think. So this guy is the one we want. When you open up the envelope, it's got the Lost Lagoon and Cajun Craze going on. All right, so this needs to go back with my card back here. All right. Who's going to tell me to drink some water? Because if you were, I would listen to you. Perfect. Okay. You're destined for great things. Congratulations. And the papers that we're using are these two. They go very nicely together. Now, this card had inspiration as well. It came from this card. And if I'm not mistaken, it was Lisa Little Framboys. Yep. So Lisa Little Framboys gave this to me as a swap card. And she used the Wildflower birthday stuff, right? And what we did is we kind of cased her layout and made our own version of it. So, but we liked the fun fold aspect of that one. So thanks to Lisa for that idea. And this also has a recipe card and a great little PDF section here. It's actually, let's see here. That must be that. So it's the next card. I believe she made it card number. Nope. Card number 2 is the other part of that DSP. Card number 3 is this one. So you guys, Jolene also has a cutting diagram here for you. So it will be very helpful when you're putting this one together. So let's see here. All right. So we have a little bit left over for an envelope flap, which is great. And let me think about how we're going to do this, because I don't want to miss cutting off the envelope flap and doing that wrong. So I wondered here. So the DSP is cut at 5 1/4 tall. So that's a normal card height, right? So it's 5 1/4 tall. And we want to cut at 4 inches. So here's the deal though. And I noticed this, and I don't know if I need to have Jolene change this, because if you cut the 5 1/4 tall first, you don't have enough to do your envelope flap, right? If you cut that, because this envelope flap here is almost 6 inches. So technically I should have her update that to have the line go up. So I don't, some people don't care about doing their envelope flaps, then it's not going to matter to you. But for those that like to do your envelope flaps, you're going to want to cut your 4 inches off first, because the ultimate size that we're looking for is 5 1/4 tall by 4 inches wide. So if we cut the 4 inches wide here first, then we'll have enough to do an envelope flap. So we're calling this the fire flowers, because to me it looks like flames, clouds, fireball. That's what it looks like to me. So we're gonna do 4 inches first. So let's do the 4 inch mark first. And then that gives us our envelope flap. And then we're gonna twist it and do 5 1/4. And then that gives us the size that we need. Right, so it's 5 1/4 by 4. And we do need to do a little scoring. I have a score tool right here. So we want to make sure we score it properly. So it's scored at 3 1/4. So figure out how you want your paper to look, knowing that you're going to end up cutting off this corner and this corner. When you put this here, you don't have a fireball here. I don't either, generally. But if you flip it this way, right, you're going to end up with that thing right here, which looks kind of cool. Kind of map it out before you get cut happy and score happy, like map it out. Now, these fireballs are opposite and these are opposite, right? So it doesn't really matter which, if it's this way or this way. But what happens is this little 3/4 inch section is underneath and it rolls this way. So we are scoring it at 3 1/4 from the left. I want that thing to be over here. It looks like the Little Shop of Horrors. Do you guys remember that movie? It looks like the plant that's going to eat everybody. Okay, so 3 1/4, right? So score from the left edge at 3 1/4 or 3/4 from the other side, right? All right, so we got 3/4 here, right? Now, if you want to, you could take and you can fold that. Again, this is what's going to go underneath. And what we have to do now is cut this corner off and this. Now, how do you do that? Let's get this scoring board out of the way. And we need to do more tick marks. So how we're going to do this is 5 1/4. Half of 5 1/4 is 2 5/8. Right? So we're going to go here, 2 5/8. It's really hard to see it. Oh, I know. I have an idea. You could do the other side, right? And it's going to be easier to see. And produce the same results. 2 5/8, but you can see my tick mark. I can see my tick mark there. Then, that's the middle. Now, from the score line, so not from the edge, but from the score line, you want to come in 1/4 inch. Okay, just a 1/4 inch. All right, so let's, I'm so sorry. I lied. Reverse, reverse. You're in Uno right now. Reverse, reverse. It even says it right here, 3/4 of an inch. The reason I said quarter is because I remembered Lisa LaFramboise card. Lisa did 1/4 inch, right? And that's what I had just saw. So it is actually 3/4 of an inch, right? From the score line. So let's go from the score line here. We wanted it to come out a little bit more. So we're gonna go here, 3/4 of an inch, put a tick mark. 3/4 of an inch, put a tick mark, right? So what we're gonna be doing now is we're gonna be cutting from that tick mark to here and this to here, right? Now, you just saw that you could do any distance. It doesn't have to be 3/4, right? You could do a 1/4, you could do a 1/2, you could come out to here, you could come out anywhere, you could cut off whatever you want. You just wanna make sure you're coming off the same distance from the right and then finding the middle point here and cutting it off equally, right? You got a headshot there. All right, let's get this in here. All right, so finding Nemo and put a tick mark, pivot off of the 1, cross your fingers, shut your eyes, and cut it off. This guy right here, pivot off of that, find your tick mark, shut your eyes, put it down. Hopefully you did good. All right, that's what that's all about. Now, if you've got some pencil mark action going on, you best be erasing it. And this green ink, or this green pencil, doesn't erase. Okay, now, these two are what got adhered onto the inside. Let me save them. This is our envelope flap. This could have been your inside too if you want that, but I'm gonna put it in my scrapyard. This is good to go. And then now this piece of designer paper is a simple one. It is 5 1/16 by 3 13/16. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to cut into your house. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you go like this and cut it from here, you're gonna cut it this way. If you're gonna go this way, you're gonna cut it this way. So just say goodbye to the house. It's okay. Shut your eyes. Yeah, yep. Shut your eyes, and it's okay. You know, no one will ever know that there's a house back there. You could if you want the house to be there. It just doesn't look so hot. Choose how you got to cut through your house. But it is 3 13/16 by 5 1/16. Now this could also go on your envelope if you so desire. And 5 1/16. All right, that's perfect. Hi, Mary Schreiber. You didn't miss a lot. We're on our second card, actually. We just got started, it seems. I had technology issues. I had no internet. It got shut down because we have a service outage. But it came back, so life is good. So that's it for cutting designer. Let's make this guy then. So in your envelope, you will have a circle, spotlight in nature, and a basic beige of stylish shapes. This is your inside. Right, let's put you over here. And we need to burnish this guy. All right. Now, what we could do, we can get a little glue happy. We could glue this down, and we could glue our envelope flap. Just remember this one's a little skinnier, so you don't want to put glue all the way to the edge. Oh man, we gotta look at the house one more time. Oh, I'm sorry. So sad. I know they had such a hard time cutting the house last night. I was in the room working on emails a little bit while Diane was having class, and I had to chuckle a lot because they had a hard time cutting up the house. I mean, you work so hard to build a house, and then it's like you got to chop it right down. All right, so there's that. Let's put your fireballs, your fire flowers, onto your envelope bay, flap bay. Let's flip this down. All right, there's that. We'll come back and we'll cut that later in life. The stamp set that I used on this one is called Sunrise, Sunset. Sunrise, Sunset. No, it's called Sunrise Sailing. And it is part of, I think, the new annual catalog. That's where that one came from. And we're going to need to grab an ink color by the name of Pretty Peacock for this one. And so on this one, what's super cool is you can make it whatever kind of card you need it to be. We just thought that we were specifically looking for a sentiment that fit that circle. And this one was the right stamp for the job. And then it became a great congratulations card. So we've got that there. And then this, remember you've got your little triangles that are going to go on the bottom here. So we're going to keep this a little closer to the top. Right there. Nice. Okay, that's it for the Stamperonis. Or I should say the Inkaronis. Make myself laugh and then I make myself cough. Okay, so let's grab this because I know that we're going to need some blocks here momentarily. So we got you clean. We'll clean you. Washy, washy, washy. Squeaky, squeaky, squeaky. Let's get you done, and you done. Perfect. All right. We cleaned our house. All right. So the inside, let's just show you that again. Looks like that. Okay. So we could glue these little dudes down. And I like the idea of that one on the side because they're going up and down. And then that one can go over there. So let's flip these. And we'll glue them down. So the triangles were just afterthought, right? They were sitting there and we thought, how can we use them and not throw them away? Or have them for the next 10 years in a scrap pile. So we thought, oh, that's pretty. Whoever thinks to put the little triangles in the corner. Well, we did. Hi, Pat Shebashoff from Staten Island, New York. Better late than never is so true. Okay, so what we can do, this is going to go into here. Let's just glue that right away. So again, it wasn't too complicated, but I know sometimes when you read a tutorial, it's not always the easiest. Seeing it helps. All right, so before we glue this down, we need to get this behind here. The one thing I want to do is make sure that my designer paper isn't longer than my Cajun Craze. If it is, just trim off that little hair. But what we're going to do is this gets glued behind here, and then it's going to get wrapped around like that. Okay, so what we want to do is add liquid glue right on that 3/4 inch flap. All right, so let's pick that up, keep that centered. Like that. All right, so that's glued behind there. And now this, why is my cardstock green and yours more blue hued? Were there two options? You mean this one, Gwen? Are you in the right card kit? I guess. Send me a picture. Let me see what, send me a picture of the, like your pieces. I'm curious. It's Lost Lagoon. So, and it should be that it should be Lost Lagoon. I don't know if it looks any different. That looks gray. Like that looks, it just depends on the shadowing maybe. I mean, I think that they all should have the Lost Lagoon. We're gonna put glue like that. And then this gets matted onto our Lost Lagoon piece. Like that. Is it possible you're in the wrong card kit? Like, is that a possibility? That has happened to somebody where they grabbed the wrong card kit, asked me for it, and then they realized that it was the wrong one. Now this circle is the same setup as the last card. And you're gonna grab 2 waiting in the wings, and then 2 for back, top, right, back, bottom, left. And grab your ribbon. So far, wow, we've not wasted any ribbon. We've no schnibbles or anything. So, well, maybe a schnibble. All right. Sounds good. Keep on standby here. So, I feel like it's within the last 2 years that somebody asked me a very similar question, and then they realized that they had pulled the wrong card kit. All right, so we're gonna flip that over, secure that really good, right? And then same thing on here. Make your loop so that catches that tear and tape back there. Oh man, I don't have any tear and tape over there. Well, let's move a little bit more this way then. Make our loop. When we put the tear and tape over the top, it's going to help hold it down there. Perfect. Okay. And then what we're going to do is take our dimensionals. We're going to finish the combine here, row, going right down the row here. Doing 4 rows at a time. All right, because that has a little bit of height to it. We're going to get that put onto our circle. Like that. All right, now here's the trick for this. Instead of putting dimensionals all over here, you're bad. Wrong kit. Okay, good. I'm glad you figured it out, Gwen. Good job. Good job. We're not worried anymore. So instead of putting my dimensionals all over, what I'm going to do is figure out where I want this. And have a few prepped here. And put my fingers here. And I'm going to put one here, there, there, there. One more here. And there. I'm going to test it out one more time, make sure I didn't go too far over. So on my card here, I don't really see the corner. So I could put one more right there. For good measure. Here. You guys are like, wow, that's a lot. So the thing is, this is going to hold that flap down, right? So we don't want to, be shorting ourselves. Okay. Now is the test. Let's put this down where we want it. About there. Okay. And then voila. Nice. All right. Very good. Then gemsies. We have here a biggin, and another biggin, and a small one. I don't know, something like that. There. Okay. Oh, I feel as though I'm supposed to have one here. It's so weird putting it on the fire flower though. Oh, I'll put it at the base of the fire flower. How's that sound? And then we're gonna put another one right next to it, right there. Good. All right, 5 gems. Remember, we need to have odd number. Oh, dear is calling me. Hang on, let me just say I'm live. Live yet. Oh man, did you guys see the sourdough? Live yet. Tyler made sourdough. I had to help him bake it yesterday. But look at that, you guys. A perfect little loaf. And then look at that little one. So I helped him bake some bread yesterday. He does all the work, and then all I have to do is help bake it. I can handle that. I just have to make sure I set the alarms on my phone. Otherwise, I do forget. And then it's bad. Napping, they tired themselves out helping me fold laundry. Oh, there you go. All right, drink. Thanks, Mary Lemke. I need drink. Wonderful. Excuse me. 2 cards done. Oh, wow. Okay, very good. Let me have my recipe. You can go back in here. And then, I'm going to do the envelope flap later in life, right? There's 2 cards. Good to go. Take a deep breath, and let's think about this next one. Now, this card was inspired by a stamping colleague of mine. Her name is Bonnie Schmitz. If you know Bonnie, she makes really pretty cards. We kind of saw this card. We kind of looked at this card, right? These are swap cards. And we also looked at Bonnie's card. So Bonnie's card looked like this, right? It's the most similar to this. But we did change it, right? They always say when you're casing other cards, you have to change at least 3 things on the card to kind of make it your own, right? And we did not use any floral images. We changed the label. We added gems. We added vellum, which is retired, by the way, but we added the vellum. We added ribbon on the front. So we changed the front part of it, but we kept the back part of it, right? Because this was really pretty using the damask embossing folder. And what was really cool about this is I had never done a fold like this. Sherry Stewart, that's good information. I don't know. I gotta remind Tyler that Escape, he usually makes bread and raffles it off. What we liked about the inside of Bonnie's card was what you can see here, unfortunately, not to like say anything bad, but she had used tape runner, and tape runner and fun folds don't always mix. You really should use a very permanent adhesive or liquid glue, right? So now I didn't mean for that to open like that, but it was really cool how she had this fold like this. Now, you might not be excited about doing this kind of a fold, and you can't even see really what it looks like, but we wanted to give credit to Bonnie for her inspiration, and all these cards for their inspiration for this one. So when we did it, again, we added in the basic beige ribbon, added the gems, and then when you open it up, so I use liquid glue. And so it does fold up like this, right? And that's how, right? But so let's do it again. So when it opens up, it's got some depth to it. And I glued mine in with liquid glue, and I put it underneath these mats so that they were secure. Right, so again, if you aren't interested in doing this fold in the inside, you can improvise and do something different. But that's how we set the card up. And it's important because you need this piece here and this piece here. And in your card kit, let's see which one it is. Must be that one. All right, I have a Post-it note, meaning I got something wonky going on, which happens. And you should have enough for an envelope flap. This is also another hot dog style here. So you have your little vellum piece. You have, this is the die cut from the beautiful gallery. This is sentimental framing for the label. You have 2 secret C's and 2 beiges, one for each side on the inside. You have your embossed piece here, and then we definitely did die cut that flower out of here. Right, so that's, I don't know why I got a Post-it note, but I got it. And so we wanted to share this awesome fold with you just to show you it's actually not so complicated. It's not over the top complicated. Really, I don't think it is. So our DSP is 4x4, and then we leave 2 inches for the edge. When we look at this, how do you want the 2 inch? So this is a 4x4 in here, and we were strategic about it. So this top corner with this flower and that half of one, that's what's on the inside. So what I'm gonna do is a zoom, 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 and a boom, boom. We're gonna shake our rump. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of a stamp. That's what I was gonna do. So let's get you out of here. And you're destined for great things. Can leave my side right now. And boom, you're done. All right, so 4 inches. 4 inches right here. This is your envelope flap, all right? And then we're gonna turn it and do 4 inches. All right, this piece is what we used right there. See? All right, so that's not so crazy. Oh man, I need a scoreboard. Okay, so I still have, for those of you who watched me last week, I did get my scoring thing ordered before it went out of stock. It's still on low inventory, so I got it before it went out. So we've got some scoring to do here. Let's see how we're gonna make this work. So the first score is really easy. We need to score it at 2 inches. So it's currently 4x4, like a truck, and we're gonna do 2 inches, right? So 2 inches is perfect. And what we're gonna do is fold that in half. And then what we have to do is we have to put tick marks at a 1/2 inch from the middle on each side and the bottom of the top. And we have to do a tick mark at 1 1/4 and 1 1/4, 1 1/4, 1 1/4. And then what we have to do is score in between. So I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna do that without having my scoring thing. We'll figure that out momentarily. I'll think about it while I put my tick marks. But again, those tick marks were a 1/2 inch from each side. So if you put your ruler, I gotta take my glasses off. I might get my head in here. But I'm gonna put my ruler at 2 inches. And we're gonna put a 1/2 inch, a 1/2 inch, and then 1 1/4 from the middle. So I'm at 2. and then I go to 3 1/4, and here I'm going to go backwards and then go right there. So the tick marks were a 1/2 inch from the middle and 1 1/4 from the middle. With each cough, take a drink. Oh my gosh, you guys, okay. Does it sound painful? Because it's not really that painful. All right, I put it at 2 inches, and we're gonna do a 1/2 inch and a 1/2 inch, and then 1 1/4 inch and 1 1/4 inch. Okay, all right, I just can't see that close up with my glasses on. All right, what we need to do now, I figured up an idea. We need a score line that goes from here to here, and then we need a score line that goes from here to here, and then we need a score line from here to here, and from here to here. Now, if I had that little handy dandy paper trimmer with a scoring thing, I could set it up. I don't. I lost my scoring thing, so I can improvise by using a ruler. So I have my tick mark here, and I have my tick mark here. And I'm going to put my ruler here, and I'm going to pick up, wrong one, hang on. We need the 2 closers together. So I'm glad I fixed that. So we're going to go that one to this one. Okay, I'm going to go right to where it is. I'm going to pick this up. You know what the trick is to use your bone folder. Okay, so I got there to there. This is the MacGyvering kind of way, I guess, you guys. I appreciate that, Nancy. I needed water. I could feel when I drank it, it was relieving me. All right, then this one, I'm gonna put the ruler there, and I'm gonna use my bone folder, swoop in here. You guys, again, I don't have the scoring thing on my my paper trimmer. So this is the makeshift way of doing it, right? We're still doing good, right? I mean, it's doing exactly what we need it to. All right, now we're gonna go from this outer one here, that guy, to that guy, right? And then pick it up, use that bone folder, like that. Okay. I suppose the one thing I haven't been doing is burnishing it every time, but we can still do that. And then this one right here. Okay, so there's one left now. It's from this tick mark to that tick mark. Pick it up. Like that. All right, so let's see if you guys can see what I've done. I've makeshift scored each of those. And what happens now is when you glue this in, see, I'm gonna open it up so you can see. You have a valley and a mountain and a valley and a mountain and a valley right there. That is how that goes, right? Same thing happens on this side. We have this one goes in, that one goes out, that goes in, that goes out, and it meets like this, okay? So the main thing is you want to make sure that this is all shored up nice and even here, nice and even here, right? But don't laugh at me. I just realized I did it backwards because I don't want it to be this way. I want it to be this way. So one moment while I adjust my shenanigans to be going the opposite way. One moment, please. Like that. See, that's what it really needed to be. Okay, so make sure we're still buttoned up right there. And then this guy, an opposite, right? So opposite, opposite, opposite. You might be watching and thinking, what is she doing and why is she even bothering? Okay. Okay, now when that opens up, you've got this kind of cool fold on the inside, right? That's what we're doing. And this is what's going to go on the inside. So that's the hardest part about this card, is if you want to do this. Oh, I appreciate you. Okay. Thank you for everything. No, thank you. Thank you for everything. And let's see where that comes from. Tags of thanks. And I did happen to grab tags of thanks. And then we need beautiful motifs right here. So we need thank you for everything, which is this guy. And then I appreciate you. Now, the inside focal thing that I have there, the foliage, that's from the Beautiful Gallery. And you may recall that I left that upstairs. So we're going to not use that for the moment, which is okay. I can do it later in life. So we did okay not having our scoring board again, or our, not our board, but our paper trimmer scorer. All right, so thank you for everything is going to go on your little charming sentiment, or framing sentiment, sentimental framing. Yeah, that sounds right. That'll go here. This would be a very pretty wedding card too, though, right? So you guys, whatever sentiments I'm using, you could always change it up, right? As long as you have your own sentiments at home, you're good to go. And then on the inside here, I have I appreciate you. So let's grab this one and you. Put that right in the middle. Okay. All right. Oh, it's so crooked. Okay, one moment, please. We can flip this over. Better. Better. Okay. Now, when you guys get, you can put your little foliage on the inside there. Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. All right. So what we can do, let's get a little glue happy. So I'm going to wait to glue this in until I've actually done my stamping. So for now, we can glue these two things together, and we're going to glue this onto here. Get rid of that crooked one. So these look like little acorns to me. They're not, but they I don't know what it is. They look like acorns. Figure out which way you like them to look better. I like that one, like the direction that I'm holding it. We left the big white flower. You're welcome, Nancy. So you are gonna, I just noticed this now. This is too long by a little bit. So when we glue this on here, I don't want to glue out, I don't want to lose any of my bottom white part, the rose down there. I want to trim off the top here. So take your scissors and just trim this. If you caught on the tutorial, I'm sure it says that it needs to get trimmed, but I didn't think about it until I had glue on it, so all you gotta do is that. All right, and then this guy goes right there. All right, now this is gonna get glued on here, but instead of putting glue all over the back, I'm gonna go on the top of the mat here, so I don't risk getting glue through the hole. And that just sets right in there. And because I'm using the liquid glue, I can wiggle it. Perfect. And then flip this over. Remember where the seam is, and do your tear and tape sandwich. So you got two like that. And then grab your ribbon. And it's a little over 4 inches, so I'd go with maybe 5 inches, like that. And then while you got it in your hand, make a little overhand knot. And that's what's underneath the label. Yeah, I'm gonna make it a little longer and just trim my tail, so that's ready to go. And then from the front, I'm gonna cover up the seam. Now you can see through it. So you gotta be either put your seam on the seam, like the edge, I guess, of the ribbon on the seam. I wouldn't put it right down the middle because you're gonna, you can kind of see it. So either go all the way over here or go so that that left seam of the ribbon or the binding of the ribbon is along the left edge, or the right, I guess it's the right edge of the designer paper. Flip that over, make your sandwich, and then you peel those off, and then that can go right to the card front. We got our little hot dog going on here. So I might have mentioned this on a live or two once before, but cloud cover and secret CR to me like soft succulent was with evening evergreen. They go together like a horse and carriage, right? All right. Now, how do you glue the inside? So ultimately, hi Yvette, no worries. Yvette, did you get my phone call? I left you a message about doing the peaceful garden display for the escape. So if you're game for that, you would fill that void for me. And I have two left then. And I don't remember which the two I have left are. So this is all set up. And what we're going to do is glue this in here. It's centered top to bottom. And you don't want to jam it into the corner too much because it's going to push it this way anyways. But we're going to do liquid glue first. We started, oh, thanks, Nancy. So we're going to put the glue here. Yeah, we had internet issues. My internet was down. And it took us 40 minutes to figure that out. So I'm going to set this in here. Make sure I'm centered top to bottom. And then I'm going to shut this. And if it's in the corner too far, it's going to push it this way anyways. So that looks good. Now with that like that, all you have to do is put glue 42 on that side. And we're going to just set this right into it. That's it. Yeah, Laura, the colors are striking. It just reminds me of how secret Evening Evergreen was with soft succulent. Okay, give that glue a moment to adhere so it doesn't come apart, and then that's how you've got that. And then this guy is set up that it should just barely cover the edge, and then we can put this one in as well. Okay. All right, so this glue, like that. Same margin, top, bottom, sides. Like that, looks good. So I'll come by later and adhere this in here after I stamp it. Hi, Joy Moody, thanks. I'm horrible at checking voicemails. I will let you know by Monday. I'm about 75%. Yes, I need to know how many. Okay, well, give me a call sometime so that we can talk it over. I'm relatively, I know you're in North Carolina, I think. I don't remember, you're East Coast-ish, like Eastern time zone maybe, if I'm not mistaken. I have a live tomorrow at 1:30, and I'll basically do lives until 6 would be my guess. So, but all right, let's carve out 15 minutes so we can chat. All right, that's it. Like, that wasn't so crazy, right? And it shuts nice. Hi, Mimi Howenstein. Better late than never. So you have to do any picking out here. You guys, I haven't been Stellaing. We got a little late start, so just a reminder, go by and Stella everything you possibly can. All right, so this guy, how would I do this? I'm going to stage this with dimensionals, and I'm going to put 2 here, 2 in the middle. Oh man, I went out of line here. I went down to the edge here. So how I would do this, I would pick off on the right side, the 2, and I want to stage it on the front of my card where I want it to go. And I'm not picking off these other 4, right? So I know I want it right about here. Okay, that looks good to me. And then what we need to do, this is actually, so if you look at this, you can see this is like that, but then you're like, well, there's more. There's got to be more. What we did is we cut this off right here. Oh, you can even rip it, right? Right? So that's here. And then we put this on next, and then the vellum helps hide it a little. So grab, let's see here. Let's use some glue dots actually. Put a glue dot right there at the base. And I'm wondering liquid glue. We're gonna just put that one glue dot right down there. And then this tucks, so I can pick up my label. And you're gonna probably need to trim off your tail here. Okay, so then this tucks in right about there, right? So that's set, but it's not very secure. This is very flippy floppy. So before we keep going, what I'm gonna do is peel back the layer here and put a little dot of glue there and there, right? So that'll help hold that down. Yeah, I'm still doing it. 1:30 Central Time tomorrow. That's my plan, unless I wake up with no voice. Like, if I overdid it tonight, then I won't have a voice. But I don't have time to reschedule the showcase, you guys. I really don't. I have a full day of, we're making all 14. We're doing 14 cards for the Paper Palooza for the fall. And they're getting done on Saturday. And then we're actually going to go to Jenna's house on Saturday night. Sunday, Monday, we're going to go camping by Jenna and go canoeing. So we're taking time to go away. And so this little guy is going to go. So do you see how it looks empty? Let me zoom in. The zoomy zoom zooms. Hang on. See, it looks a little empty. But when you take the top of it and go like that, it helps fill that in a little bit, which is super cool. Drink. Thanks, Susan Bellamy. Ah, it's so refreshing every time. Okay. Then a glue dot. I have been drinking the tea with the honey, definitely. All right, glue dots here. You want to make sure that that base gets tucked underneath like that. All right, but this label now is done. It's not secure, so now we can pull this back because we've got those dimensionals secured, and we just pull back. Okay, so this is my trick when I don't know where to really place things, right? So now I can go like that and put that down, and then we're going to do a couple glue dots right next to each other, right at the base of this label, and that's where our little overhand knot is going to hang out, just like that. Push it real good. Grab your ribbon scissors and trim. Yeah, so if we don't do the showcase tomorrow, I don't know when, right? Oh, so I didn't cut these exact. Oh my gosh, just alter that slightly. We have Share, Create, Inspire to make up tomorrow too. If anything, I would move Share, Create, Inspire to next week and not move the showcase. Like if I had to pick between the two, I would definitely move. Sorry to Janice Ormiston. I know she sent me her recipe and she's been waiting for it, but I think you guys would completely understand if I move Share, Create, Inspire out, if I needed to move one. Okay, gem time. I've got a big, a small, and another small right there. And then there's a big and a small. With these gems, you definitely want to push these gems down so they don't fall off. Get that adhesive to really stick. All right, so another one where if we go step by step, that it actually is not overwhelming, right? I think it turned out really beautiful. Again, we cased it from Bonnie Schmitz, giving her credit for the idea of the inside foldy part, right? We didn't really change that much, but we changed the front a little bit. We left the mats and the base the same, but we made it our own by changing it up a little bit. So yeah, but a great card to share with you. A different fold. I can't say I've ever done a fold. And you guys, I didn't even use my scoring on my paper trimmer. I used a ruler and a bone folder to make that. And that's exactly what we've got going on. All right. So let's just glue this so I don't lose it later. Put that on like that. And then we'll see once what we've got for, oh, the next one is another fun fold, but it's not a hard fun fold. Okay, get that on, and we'll trim that off later. So that would be number 3. I don't know if that's number 3 in the tutorial, but it was number 3 for me tonight. So the next one is this guy. And he uses for you. No, for you. Oh, no, thank you. For you. The other white on the left side. Oh, I don't have my stamp down here. So I will actually put that with it. You guys, I used the beautiful gallery stamp on my sample. I left that stamp set upstairs. And I don't want to, if I glue this on, then I got to potentially hit the edge down here, and I'd rather not do that. So I'm just going to save that for a project for another time. So, all right. And this one we have for you, right? That's what fit in the circle. Well, hi, honey bunches of oats. Hi, Mom. Are you done yet? I want to play mousy. Well, girlfriend, we're half. I think we could say we're half. All right, so we need, Mom, you got stuff all over the place. What is going on, girl? Oh my goodness, knocking all my things on the floor. All right, for you, let's see. All right, this one's not overly complicated, I don't think, but we're gonna start with this piece of paper. And you have one here, and one here. And the height on it is 5 1/8. So we're cutting off the top, right? Because the bottom is cool, the top isn't bad, it doesn't add much. So we're gonna cut the top off. Don't cut the bottom off. So 5 1/8, right? I don't know what you wanna do with this. Put it in the scrapyard, come back to it later in life. All right. Then, now we have easy cuts. You guys are gonna be so happy. A 1 3/4 and 1 3/4. All right, so 1 3/4. And then a 1 keep it in order. Keep them in order, right? 1 3/4, 1 3/4, so that's for here, there. And then what's left is this piece, right? So we used the whole 6 inches up, right? So that wasn't overly crazy in my book. So pretty easy peasy. All right, so we need a card kit though. Oh, I'm sorry, I had that zoomed in a little bit out. Oops, oopsie daisy. So I think it's that one right there. And I've got another slip in here. I don't know why, we'll find out in a moment. And yeah, she's over there waiting for me. So we'll set you over here for now. So in this one, you'll have some spriggy things. Now these are from the dies that we're using, the beautiful galleries and the motifs. They're from one of the sets, one of the 2 sets. All right, so those are already die cut for you. More Spotlight in Nature, and then Stylish Shapes together. And then what you have here, you've got 2 petal pinks, and they are for your 2 mats, like that. Now, the sample card here and the photograph, thank you, Nancy. The sample card here and in the picture, because we photographed this, does not have this piece. So if you guys are wondering why you got an extra beige, it's because after we were all done, we thought to ourselves, wow, it's really pink in the inside. So what we decided to do is we gave everybody a piece of basic beige. And what you can do is use it on the inside here as an extra matte if you want. So we'll play around with it and see once if you like it or not. So, and then you have another petal pink. So ultimately, this piece would go here, and then this would go here. And it helps to cut out some of the pink. And if you don't like it, you don't have to use it. It was just an extra piece of paper we thought we're gonna throw in just in case you want it. And you'll know what I mean when we start to put together. So we're gonna burnish the edge here in the middle. And then this actually folds in. Now we could have easily just cut this and not had it, but it's like, it made it less bulky, it made it less thick. But the thing is, when you do put this in here like this, it's going to buckle. right? Because you've got just a little too much paper on that side because of the crevasse. So that's where you're going to have to grab your paper trimmer, and the hairs come in play. So grab your paper trimmer and trim off a hair. Just a hair. And now test it out. Put this in the inside and shut it. If it buckles, you have to do more hairs. If it doesn't buckle, you're good to go. Mine doesn't buckle now. And all I did was cut off a schnibbins. Okay. So, let's get glue happy, you guys. Like, this is the card that, like, it's like, let's just get glue happy. So, we can glue that together, and we can glue each of these together. I did a little dry fit here. To me, it looked good. So, let's just go boom, like this. We're gonna go like this, and we're gonna do this. So that gets put there. And then we'll flip these. We're gonna do this. Oh, I have to tell you who gets credit for inspiring us. You guys, we don't come up with all these card ideas on our own. You guys. I'll tell you, it's a lot to come up with lots of different designs. The main thing is that if we get inspiration or ideas from somebody, we like to share with you where we get it from, right? That we help with getting our creative juices flowing. So those go on that panel. Now this one goes on here, like that. And then this guy goes here. All right, so you're at the eye doctor, and he's gonna ask you, do you like option A? So shut your eyes. He's gonna ask you, do you like option A or B? All right, so you open your eyes. This is option A, right? Okay, now shut your eyes. You're at the eye doctor, and he says to you, do you like option B better? So what does B look like? Not ready to open your eyes. Shut your eyes, shut your eyes. All right, you're back at the eye doctor in your number option B, right? So this is what it looks like, and when you open it up, it looks like that. Well, I mean, we could have just done this too, right? So is that too much pink for you? Or is that too much weird beige for you, right? It's about a horse apiece. Last night, I know that some people didn't put their beige in, and some people left it pink, and some people like the beige. So your call. I think for what we'll just go for the beige and check it out. I do notice that the beige got cut like just a 1/16 of an inch shorter than this. So I'm just gonna center it and go with it. And then it is what it is. But I do have to get the beige down first because, oops, I didn't even put the pink in yet. So hang on, let's do this one first. You guys, Susan likes A. You like the pink. Oh, you do like the pink. How many other people like the pink? I'll give you guys like 20 more seconds here. Like, if you like the pink, all I have to do is go like this. And I don't have to do the pink. So I've got pink and pink. So far I only have 2 votes. I'll take a drink, and I'll buy you guys another vote. And no more votes came in. Well, if you 2 people like the pink, then I'm going to assume more people like the pink. All right, let's just do pink. It's too late now to vote. You guys, the polls have closed. All right, and we just added a little weight. Oh, pink, nice, okay. So sometimes I think those tests at the eye doctor are tricks, actually. Oh, you guys are all voting for the pink. Oh, good job. Okay. Well, you guys don't even need to glue your basic page to the backside. Use it for something else later in life. All the pinks just came in. I like it. Okay. Well, good. So our original thought was right then. You should leave well enough alone, right? That is the general consensus. All right, we need to grab espresso ink. And, oh, I know why I got. So I got the label that has a little divot in it. So sometimes when they're die cutting, there's a piece of little schnibble that stays on the die cutting machine, and then the paper goes over it and leaves a dimple. So they figured I could use that, and I'm going to put it off to the right-hand side, and I can. Yes, you guys all got, so for every time that I've shorted you a little piece of vanilla or a piece of white or something in your kit, Now you got a basic beige. How's that sound? All right, so we're gonna put the For You over there. So it was hard finding a stamp that fit here that was universal. So we ended up with For You, and then that comes from the set here called Tags of Thanks. Nice. All right, so that's it for Stamperooing on here. All we've got for ink is brown. And what we did is we popped this up. The dimensionals are hiding right there. Pink for life. So we're going to put, oh, we made it to the other side. Put a few dimensionals on the back side here. Put that. So Mossy Meadow in the green. Okay, I was going to show you guys also the card. So we cased, Lori Krause is an amazing stamper too. And she used a different designer paper, and she used different labels. She made a bow, and she did a different type of sentiment. But otherwise, the concept of the fold is similar, right? And she did do beige on the inside, where we did everything with petal pink. So this is the card that we used. Lori Krause is amazing stamper. She hit her million, I think, last year or the year before. Okay, I coughed, so I'm going to drink some water. Girls are keeping me hydrated tonight. Okay, so the concept with this is very similar to the last one. We're only going to put dimensionals like on one side. This has to have room for it to go with the flap. So we're going to set this where we want it and know that we need the dimensionals right over here. So we're going to just gently lift this up. Back. They want to stick to my fingers is what they want to do. We're just going to go all the way up here with that one and all the way down there with that one and do another one right in the middle. I want to make sure that this doesn't, you're putting a lot of stress every time you bend this up and bring it out. So you want to make sure that you're not lacking in the dimensional department here. Yes. Yeah, you guys are going to keep me good, so I'll be good for tomorrow. And for good measure, I think I'm going to put one more right there. I'd rather be safe than sorry with these dimensionals. So then this can go like that. Push it real good. Okay, and then I lost one over here, I think, at some point. I did, Yvette. I ordered, actually, my trimmer blades are good. It was my scoring one that I am missing. So I got it ordered a couple days ago. I think I did it either what is today? Thursday? I did it like Tuesday, I think. I waited till I got a few more cards designed in case I needed more card stock. So we're going to put this guy down first. Now, you could sponge that. I noticed on here it kind of gets lost. So if you'd like that to show a little bit more, go ahead and sponge it with some petal pink ink. That would probably be helpful. It'll stand out better. And then you got this little guy. Like that. Thanks, Nancy. Nancy's helping me answer all my questions. Probably so that I don't talk so much. All right, the ribbon overhand knot, like we did on one of the other cards. Okay, very good. And then 2 glue dots, 2 scoops. I do them right next to each other. So one there, and then one right there. And then grab your ribbon scissors. Just gonna cut that tail exactly where it needs to be. Get that planted right there. And then we'll trim the other guy. Like that. Oh, he didn't come off. Oh, for those wondering about the Beekeeper's Guide, Kelly's in the process of working on it. Her goal is to have it ready the day that the catalog launches, which is the 3rd. Wow, that is like coming up. I need to talk to her. I feel like that is like coming up faster than what she thinks it is. She just went back to school this week too. All right, so Gemsies. Let's grab a big and a small. A small one right there. And a couple down there. Perfect. And push them down. And then, nice. All right. So if you really wanted to have a spot to write your love note, you could always put something on the back here, right? So, yay. Yeah, it's September 3rd. It's coming up fast, like super fast. So I've got to get her butt in gear. I don't know if I think she started it, but got to get it to you guys for proofreading, because we definitely want you guys to have a moment in time to proofread it. All right. So, was that the one with the beige behind it? Yep. All right. So that goes over here. So now, I didn't have a piece of paper for the envelope flap. Did you notice that? We used it all up. But that doesn't mean you can't use this piece from one of those other cards. But that actually gets used on another card. So at the moment we don't have a flap, but when you guys get to working on your other card kits, like you have these pieces that aren't getting consumed at the moment, this one's not going to work. That one's not going to work. That's not going to work. So this is the only one that you really have left that you could potentially use. Like you could cut like this and use this for the envelope flap if you desire. You might have this paper at home and you might just cut off another piece to use for your envelope flap. But that's why I don't have an envelope flap on my sample that I had either. Kelly is going to school, or her kid, Kelly's a teacher. So Kelly's teaching, and she's going back to school to be a teacher for one more year. That's her plan. All right. So from a previous card, we already cut this strip off, and so this is another one where I don't have an envelope flap. And that's okay. So this, we need to cut the bottom off. So there's one minor little cut on here, and it is 5 1/8 tall. So we'll have to grab our trimmer. We're going to do 5 1/8 tall. Scrapyard, I guess. And that's there. As long as I have my cutter here, I'm going to cut this last one, right? Excuse me. This piece is ultimately, the DSP is 4 15/16 by 3 11/16. So our notes are cut 3/4 of an inch off the bottom, right? So we're going to cut 3/4 of an inch off the bottom. Put that over here. And then cut off 1 1/16 from the left edge. So what do we mean? So what happens is, this is the side we keep right here. We're keeping this side, and what we're doing is we're cutting 1 11/16 off of that side. And our height though is, let's just see what our height is really quick. Our height is, we said 3 11/16 tall. So what we could do is do our height, and then we'll have this bit here for our envelope flap, question mark. Hopefully, maybe, it's gonna be a little envelope. Yeah, it's not really gonna give us enough for an envelope flap, but it's 3 11/16, right? So that's the height we have. And then we needed to cut, so that's not enough for an envelope flap, unfortunately. The 1 1/16 off of this side. Like that. So this is, we basically cut, we didn't cut this side, but we cut the bottom, we cut the top, and we cut this side, and that's how we positioned that. I wanted that sprig right there, I guess. So that's how that ended up. And we saved this for our inside. So that's, I think, what I have for cutting for tonight. And you stamp the envelope. Yes, so Yvette says she typically saves the DSP and stamps the envelope. That makes a lot of sense. Drink, please. Thanks, Nancy. Perfect. 2 easy cards left, you guys. Easy peasy. So let's just set that for now. Grab my card kits. I gotta figure out where I set them right here. I was like, I couldn't see them. So this is our green one that goes over here. And then this one has no envelope flap. All right, so we have the exposed brick embossing folder. We have stylish, oh, we get to do a heat embossing too. Stylish note, stylish shape. This is our back label, our front label for matte. I'm saying matte, and then that goes here. There, there. I know I need some cough drops and tea and honey. Yes, that's on my docket as soon as I'm done with the live. All right, then we're gonna bone fold this. We have 2 easier cards left, I think. Like they should be easier. So let's do a little prep here. So these 2 things can get glued, as can this one, right? So let's get glue happy. I'm gonna go just around the edge here, because I know there's a hole right there. All right, so first, let's get you on here. I think that is too tall. I don't know for certain, but I'm gonna move it so that, so the top, these 2 sides and this side I'm making the same. I'm gonna trim off a little off the top. I don't know if it needed to be as long as we made it. So we do have brown on brown, which is tone on tone, but we embossed it. And then this piece is not centered, and it is close to the top and the bottom. There's like this little bit of a margin on the side. And then, yeah, I'm gonna trim a little. I don't know if you guys are gonna have to do the same thing, but I'm gonna trim a little off, just like 3 hairs. And then there, like 3 hairs, that's perfect. This is gonna get popped up with dimensionals. So I have just a note in here, and then that flower is from Beautiful Gallery. And again, I left Beautiful Gallery upstairs, and I don't want to run up and get it. So we can pretend I stamped it. So right now I'm not going to glue it in as my plan. All right, we're getting here, and then we're going to go right here. So I have to go to bed. I'll catch the replay and hope the showcase. Perfect, Mimi. Sounds good. Sleep well, my friend. Sleep very well. Oh yeah, we're later than normal. We should be done by 9 though, would be my guess, because this card and the next card are gonna be like super easy. And we'll do a little drawing, and then we're gonna call her good. All right, so this is centered on here. Let's see if that worked. Yep, that looks nice. All right, and then I'm gonna glue the green in on the bottom here, or in the inside, I should say. So mossy with beige and early espresso. It's a great combination. All right, again, I'm not gonna stamp my inside, but I see a hunky noodle. We got that here. And we're gonna grab out the heat tool and the embossing buddy, all that good stuff. So got that right here. So here's the embossing buddy first. Okay, just a little chalk pillow. Helps to get off any like stickiness from your fingers or residue, static electricity. And you're gonna need a Versamark pad. So let me grab that. And I'll put you away. Grab the Versamark, put you away. And we're using beautiful motifs. So let's grab that. And we need just a note, just for men. So I have a chamois. So let's grab, I think I already cleaned that. I'm just gonna clean these right away, and then I'm gonna grab a block from one of these. Okay, so there's that, thank you. And then this guy. Perfect. All right, so we needed just a note. And then Versamark. Ah, me too, Nancy. I don't know when I would have made this class up. Oh my goodness. You guys know I run a tight ship on my time. I am, you guys, I just found out my best friend is getting married on September 12th of next year. My high school best friend, who I'm still really good friends with. If you ever see a picture of me with a lady or a gal, she's a lady, but like my age, right? A gal. She's got blonde hair and very attractive young lady. And she's getting married September 12th. And she called me to tell me the day. And I'm like, oh no. She's like, what? I said, that's the week I'm supposed to be in Salt Lake City for the $1 million sales achiever like party celebration, designing my stamp set. And she kind of was like quiet and silent for a little bit. And like, we are supposedly flying out like Wednesday and we're supposed to fly back on Sunday, and her wedding's on Saturday the 12th. And all I said, well, I'm not going to miss either one of them. So I'm basically going to fly out there, and on Saturday morning, I'm going to fly home at the first flight I can at the butt crack of dawn and go straight to the wedding. I can't miss it because that's how I operate. I go from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. Like, there's no rest for the weary. So that's probably why I lost my voice. But, so yeah, unless the date changes for the Stampin' Up thing, like, which would be amazing. I hope that, you know, if it changes, I hope it doesn't go to the next week, because that's when we have the escape planned. So there's always lots of stuff going on all the time, you guys. All right. Who'd have thought that I'd be booked 2 things in one weekend already a year out from now? All right, embossing time. There we go. Yvette, you did. You did. I had your name. You were in roll call. So this is embossing. And if you guys watched my speech that I gave at my party a couple weeks ago, this is the magical thing that became I got hook, line, and sinkered and started stamping in general because of heat embossing. All right. I'm pretty sure you got 2 kits of, it was this class and something else, and they mailed out already. Nancy, I took a drink. All right, grabbing that roll of ribbon underneath the note. We're gonna go like this, and then a loop slightly off from the other one, and then bringing it right back like that. Grab your ribbon scissors, trim your tail, grab the other tape like that, and then trim this guy. We almost didn't feature this beautiful gallery. We almost didn't feature this product at all. I think you guys helped vote on it last, like June, like a couple months ago. You guys voted if we were going to do one or the other of something or something else, and you guys voted for this, and so that's why that's why we ended up with this one, and I'm so glad we did. So pretty. So we're going to put 2 dimensionals on the left side, and then we're going to rip this tape off the right side, or the waxy part like that, and then there's an open pocket area here where you can put this. Grab those gemsies. Hi, Pat's mothers. Better late than never. We're going to put this little guy and big guy over here. And then I put a little one right in the middle of the flower, and I thought that looked amazing. You missed almost everything. And we even started 40 minutes late because I had no internet. So we're on card number 5 of 6, okay? I'm waiting to stamp my inside. We talked about that because I don't have the stamps down here. But you guys, that's basically the card in a nutshell. And then the inside does look like, that's what we did. Okay? So that is card number 5. And then number 6, we've already cut the designer paper. So let's open up our bits and parts here. So I did use that random from our scrapyard over here we got that piece that we're going to use. We've got Thinking of You, Pecan Pie, and then Basic Beige. And you can see we were strategic. We cut our labels out of that. And then you've got 2 mattes for your inside. And we're going to burnish a little bit. Yes, I can tell you haven't opened your package. You were worrying me though that you didn't know, because I thought to myself, oh man, did she not get what she was supposed to? So I'm glad you confirmed that you did not open your package yet. That makes me feel a little bit better. All right, so we're gonna get glue happy, you guys, like really glue happy here. So let's see if we can remember everything. We're gonna like go boom, boom, bang, bang, lickety split here. So got that. We're going to do the top of this one. This is our inside. We're going to do that. And do this. All right, let's see if we can make this happen. This went on here, like so. Good. And then this one went on here. Nice. Our card is a mossy meadow base with pecan matting on the inside. And then we've got our envelope flap. Sorry, little path you're going bye-bye. What is under there? Oh, the bars. All right, and then this. Nice. Okay, so we'll leave that be. I can cut that off another time. All right, then a little bit more gluing is this guy. So you guys, we did save the easiest one for last. Hopefully we did them in an order that was smart so that you guys could be fresh for the first cards, and then by the time these last ones come, they're easy enough for you. So we did matte the inside instead of doing vanilla. We did do beige, and there's that little piece that was from your scrapyard. That is what we put on the inside here. So I didn't stamp any sentiments on the inside, so let's go ahead and glue these things. If you want a sentiment, I would definitely glue it. I would definitely stamp it before you glue it. All right, so that's going to go here. That can go right there. All right, so the inside's done. We just got to do the outside. Excuse me. Water. Okay, this little guy went to market. Thinking of You. So we need that from in here. And what we can do, as long as this is open, we'll put the last stamp. Oh my goodness. Come on, little guy. Okay, put you away. And we did this in espresso. So let's grab the ink pad back. Thinking of You. It's a great Thinking of You card. It would make a great sympathy card too, I think. You're welcome, Nancy. All right, so I centered it. Now, we gave you enough that you could trim your ends angled or bannered, or if you like them blocked like this, you should just grab your trimmer back and center it. So I'm gonna cut a little off that side and a little off that side. All I did, so your sentiment might be different and you might have it longer than mine, so you might just trim it however you want to. Grab your tear-in tape. You need one weighting in the wings and one across the back. So this concept of this card is what's going to carry you through if you want to use, you have this pattern left, and in the tutorial it says what colors we used. So you have that pattern left to use, which is this one. That pattern is going to carry you through to this one, which is what is left of your paper, right? And then it's going to carry you through for this card, which will use up that pattern. And then the last one was the Palooza card. Hi, Hunky. Was this one, which the instructions are in the tutorial. And the only one that we did not design a card with was this pattern, right? So you only would have basically this pattern left. And then if you come over to your scrapyard, you guys, there wasn't a lot of designer paper left, right? That's basically it. So we didn't have a lot of schnibbles left. All right, so you're gonna fold this in half. I have it not in the center. It's to the right of the center by a hair. And if you don't want to waste as much, you could just have used a little less than what's on the right side there. But I'm good with it. I can handle it. I'm going to cut you off first. Oh, I went this way with it. A little shorter for that one, and then a little longer for that one. And what's awesome is I really didn't use I didn't waste a lot of ribbon throughout the whole process. When you can cut it right off the roll, you can save a lot. All right, so then this little guy went right about there. And then we did a big, a small, and a small. Voila. Well done. Cherry. Oh. So when I'm done with a roll of ribbon, I know there's different ways you can secure the ends. I keep it simple. I just take my Scotch tape, fold a little tab over, and then I always have a tab there to pull off. That's easy for me. I can handle that. So, whew, okay, 8:55. All right, not bad, not too bad, not shabby at all. I mean, had we started at 6 instead of 6:45, we'd be almost at 8 o'clock. I think. So not bad for 6 crazy cards, right? All right, so we need the chamois here. And I'm going to bring all the cards back in, and I'm going to bring back my originals because those have the envelope flaps complete. And you guys can tell me, oh man, be down. You can tell me which one you like the best. So we made 6 cards tonight. 4 of them had envelope flaps, 2 did not, and you staged with a tutorial that has 4 more cards in it that you can use the rest of your designer paper with, which is super cool. Okay, we went through 4 fun folds, this one, that one, and that. I had never done this one or this one or this one before, but I had done a pocket card a time or two in my life, maybe 4 times, but it just is good. So it was very intense. The tutorial is available. If anybody wants to get it, I don't have any card kits left, in case you're wondering that they all got consumed. I have somebody waiting in the wings to get the last one. If I didn't miss somebody signing up, she'll definitely get it. If I miss signing somebody up, you have to reach out to me ASAP. I'm going to give it just a couple days before I let her know. And if you did sign up for this, I just need you to tell me how you signed up so I can know if you've already paid for it. I mean, I've been pretty good, you guys. I got a little bit caught up after my party. I actually feel like I've balanced all my accounts, like PayPal, Zelle, Venmo, Cash App. Like, I don't have a random stray payment that I know of, but I could definitely have missed things, you guys. It happens. So it wouldn't surprise me. But if I did miss it, I want to make sure I have the kit for you is all I'm trying to get at. Susan Lights, thank you for everything. Good. And then Pat says, pretty cards. I love the DSP. Will watch the whole class. Perfect. And Nancy's going to be using the tutorial from the Hive. Wonderful. It is out there at this moment. I put it there this morning, so you can definitely already access it, Nancy, and anybody else who is a member of the Inspiration Hive. The Inspiration Hive is probably the best bang for your buck. If you get kits from me, an online class from me, the tutorial is included. But like Nancy's in Canada, so she can't get card kits from me. But she can subscribe to the Inspiration Hive. I have a lot of people from Canada and Australia that subscribe to my Inspiration Hive, and that is my repository for all my tutorials. This tutorial, if you purchase this tutorial by itself, I gotta just double check the pricing. I didn't remember there were 10 tutorials in it, or 10 cards in it. I gotta go check it just to make sure it's right. But like, generally tutorials are for me between $9 and $24, depending on if it's a big one or if it's a small one, like $20. But on average, they're $12 or $11. But if you buy 2 tutorials from me in a month, you're paying, let's say, $20. You could subscribe to the Inspiration Hive for $20 a month, and then you get all of them from the last 5 years, and you also get everything that's coming up in the month. And so to pay $20 a month is a great benefit, a great value. And then the other thing is, if you want to buy it for a year, it's, I think, $216 for the year. I think that's what it's at. It's been that way since the beginning, but you get the whole year's worth for that, and it saves you basically, I don't remember if you get like 1 month free or $1 off a month, and maybe you get $12 off total. We did a little deal. So yeah, so this is a great month to subscribe to the Inspiration Hive, and then if you like it, stick around for as long as you want to keep getting the tutorials from me. But again, if you get kitted cards from me, it always includes a tutorial, and I generally send them out by the morning of class at the latest, and sometimes up to a week in advance if we're on our A-est of all A games. So, all right. If someone didn't know, they'd think Nancy was playing a drinking game. Ha 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 ha. Take a sip, Chris. Okay. Yes. Yes, Nancy. There's not much in there. It's probably right down into there. So I'll tell you, I would not have made it through class had I not drinking as much as I did, because normally I could go through an entire class not drinking any water, but it was good to keep up with it this time. Da-da-da. So I'm going to grab my book really quick. We're going to do a random number generator. We're going to pick 2 people, 2 scoops. And now I got to pull my phone that I've been using. So we're going to put 80 in here, just because I know that 80 is taken regardless. And we're going to drop it down like it's hot. And we're going to put here, generate number 9. All right. Number 9, Susie Fenlater. Wonderful, wonderful. And let's pick another one. 63 is over here. Corona. Awesome. All right. So we have Karuna and Susie that are going to win some door prizes for taking class with me tonight. Okay. Thanks for sticking around, everybody. Wow. It was pretty dicey in the beginning with even knowing if I was going to be live or not. So perseverance paid off today. I'll tell you that. I almost hit that end button multiple times. And I'm pretty certain that it started from when we actually went live the last time, and not the times before when I was talking to myself for 15, it was only 8 minutes. But I felt like 15 minutes. I was talking to myself. So we did good. I'm happy that the internet came back too. I wonder if there's a message yet on my, I'd have to log into my Spectrum account. So whatever, it doesn't matter. We're live. That's all that matters. So you guys, I'm going to rest up. I'm going to drink some tea, get some honey, get some supper, and work on cleaning up stuff around here a little bit. I am going to get to bed early, which I don't do very often, and get up early. I've got lots of things to get done in the morning, and then we'll be live at 1:30 Central for the showcase. And then if we can make it happen, I'll be live right after that for the share a recipe, create a card, inspire others. Right now I have it set for 4:30, which is a little bit later than I want it to be. If I can move that to 4, I'm going to bump it up. So it's all going to be dependent. When I finish the showcase, I'm going to take a half-hour break, and then I'll come back and start that one. But I think if we start the showcase at 1:30, we should be done by 3:30. Then I possibly start the other class at 4, so I'm done by 5:30. So that's the goal, because then we button up the month and we got everything done. I hate leaving things lingering. So, all right. Go team, right? Yes, God is good. You're right. I definitely agree. Congrats to the winners. Yes, congratulations to our winners. And yeah, I think we're doing good, you guys. We're doing good. We're kicking butt and taking names, or however the saying goes. All right, we'll be back tomorrow at 1:30 Central, you guys. Lots of love, sunshine, and big hugs to you. Take it easy. Have a good rest of your night. Love ya. Bye, guys.